the whole project,
Correct.
how it came about,
Yeah.
and how good it is to be able to get the chance to work together.
Oh, the same. Yeah, beautiful.
So, I think what's going to be best if you kind of explain a bit about what Kenosis is about, your vision for it, when it started, all of that stuff. So go for it. Just
Okay, so really, like when I tell the story of Kenosis, is that around 12 years ago, I'm walking on a mud road up in Tauts in the mountains of Romania, and it's this big pile of firewood outside one of the houses. And I knock on the door and I say, hey, what are you going to do with this wood? Oh, it's firewood, he's going to throw it away. And I'm like, in this big pile of wood, I'm seeing this piece that is really wide, the bottom of an oak tree that was cut out from a gutter, to be doing planks. And I said, that piece, I would like that piece. What would it cost me? It's just rubbish. It's just broken. It doesn't have any value. Take it. So I took it. I sanded it. I cut it in certain places, but I really tried to preserve the size or like the form of it. I attached some copper legs to it, and it became a really beautiful piece. And really, like what the Kenosis holds is that idea of what other people say that has no value. There is no purpose. There is no place for it. It's in best case we can burn it. But then I say, no, you're missing the point. It's like if you can see with the kind of eyes of vision for this piece or this person, and you invest in it, you don't cut it up in pieces, you don't make some industrial thing and an OSB comes out, like no, you preserve its beauty, then suddenly, and you connect some legs to it and everything, suddenly it comes alive. And that's really my hope with because we work with the Roma, and the idea that many people here says, those poor communities, they are for no good, we can't do anything with it, they have no place, it's best case scenario, we get rid of them, but I said, no, you're missing the point. There is a real beauty in these people, there is a potential, you just need to see it, you just need to work in it, invest in it, don't cut them up in pieces, there is so much more beauty to this. Like preserve the knots and the cracks and invest in it, and maybe even because it is so many times broken wood, it can become so beautiful. So that's one of the stories when I say this is where Kenosis comes out of. And
it's such a beautiful analogy, likening something that's being thrown away in terms of a piece of wood that you can still see has beauty in it, and it's I'm doing the same thing. What we're doing is we're releasing that beauty that's within the timber and showing it off to the world and going, hey, look at this, this is what's inside that piece of wood. And it's such a really nice kind of parallel to people, where if you can work with them and work around their idiosyncrasies, their nature, how they feel and how they act and everything like that, you get this sudden a change completely of how other people can see them as well. So I really love that. So with you, in terms of your carpentry and things like that, did you have any background in that before you started Kenosis, or did you start from scratch?
I think some Swedish, and growing up in Sweden, many times salary is so expensive and taxes so high that you don't afford to get people in to fix your house and stuff like that.
Right.
So everybody fixes their own house. Everybody have their garage and they trying to fix the windows. Remembering when I've been small in the garage, repairing all the windows, exchanging the wooden windows. And I think I always grew up with a passion for creating. So when I moved to Timișoara, I didn't have bed, I didn't have a table, I didn't have anything. So then it was basically, okay, I'm trying to work with the poor because that's why I'm here. And then suddenly I have nothing, and I'm like, I love to create.
Yeah.
I love to do stuff. I love to hang out with the poor. Let's do that together. So that's why I've started to like do a bed and and ask for their help. And out of that grew a passion. And then, of course, we started with simple stuff like cutting boards and stuff like that. And then it grew to just make a bigger and bigger cutting board until it was the size of a table. You know, and suddenly you have a table. So it's not that we are... But I don't have any background, which I sometimes lack. Or sometimes miss, or having a supportive like it would be so beautiful to be coming from a family business, because then you will have all those contacts and knowledge. You often have to do the mistakes in so many ways, you know.
But there's a beauty to learning by mistake though, and learning by failure, because it just makes what you do produce, it means more to you, but it also has an extra level of meaning, which is amazing. So when did you start using resin in tables? Did you start that from the beginning, or?
I think because it was that integrated of that, like, because I worked in another place for around 12 years working with the poor, in a ghetto and on the street and growing vegetables, and then coming to this new place, meditating and thinking and having this kind of moment of finding this peace, and then it coming out of that story, like, hey, going to a wood yard, saying, where do you have the pile that nobody want to buy?
Yeah.
And then he's showing, oh, this one, I kept this for years, like there's nothing worth, and I'm going through it, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But then, of course, what do you do with these pieces that have all this kind of beauty in it?
Yeah.
If you're going to use it for a table or for a cutting board or whatever, it's many times it needs that resin in it, because that's what unites all those kind of that brokenness.
Yeah.
So it is a kind of to be able to use that kind of those really broken pieces, you need to use resin, and so that was part of, like, it just fitted in, and it was this kind of, like, let's say 10 years ago, that's when resin tables started to become like a thing, you know. So that's where we went with that wave. Yeah.
Nice. That's amazing. So, and it was when you were on that previous project that I met you first, wasn't it?
Yeah, many
just
hundreds of years ago.
To see what you were doing, and it was I just remember thinking how amazing it was then. You know, really giving people an opportunity that they wouldn't have had because society doesn't see them as being worthwhile investing in.
Yeah.
And with what you're doing now, so ever since you started working with wood, we kept in touch, and I was always looking for an opportunity to do some kind of collaboration, some kind of project together, and it just happened that I got this inquiry through from Romania. And it was for a big sculpture trail. It was a lot of work, and my first thought was, yes, I can call Andreas and finally say I've got this potential opportunity. So I was kind of thinking, this is a great opportunity to try and work together. But and then just on the back of that, something else that was even more exciting happened with you guys. Do you want to talk about that?
I mean, for me, first of all, like, working, it's hard. I mean, it's hard to we have a company now. We are like 15, 20 people working, and we do a lot of custom furniture. It's really hard. So, and it's been some hard years in Romania lately, economically. So just that has been a big thing. So when and also this wish for that, I want the Roma to be part of society. I want the Roma to be part of building Romania. Yeah. Because that is when you, like, cut off, like, break that marginalization and build that bridge that actually you don't say just, oh my gosh, we have to give you whatever, or no, it's like, we need you and we want you. We believe in you. Let's be part of building society together. Yeah. So when you come, and this Aurel who ordered all these stuff said, like, hey, we need also for like a year of our turnover, like
Yeah.
worth of value of orders for like other stuff, everything that's around those sculptures, with places to sit down and benches and bicycle stands and swings and everything. Like it was just like I was blown away by that. Like
Yeah.
a year's worth of economy in our company came through this order. I mean, it's just like
so amazing.
for us, we've been able to employ more people
Yeah.
that, of course, come from these kind of backgrounds of
Yeah.
utter poverty and no chance, and nobody who wants to invite them to their companies. Like they have been able to be employed and come, and we've been experiencing an amazing autumn
Yeah.
because of this connection coming, which
Yeah.
is super funny that it comes from
Yeah, I know.
that kind of walk around, you know.
Yeah. No, I think that's incredible. It's amazing, and I'm really looking forward to seeing all of these things put into place. So it's like, let's talk about a bit the project itself. It's a huge project. It's a national park. Is it, or is it kind of it's a tourist attraction? Isn't it?
Yeah. So it is a place. The place where we're building it,
Yeah.
it has the history of like thousands of years actually of springs that have healing power.
Okay.
So like there are springs coming up of the mountain. There are hot springs, and then with all these kind of different kind of combinations of sulfur and I don't know what it is in all these kind of minerals anyway.
Yeah.
And then so now they're really trying to develop that place. And one of the things that they're trying to do now is like get people out in the woods to take a walk and to see that and to be part of nature, because that's also very healing, walking in the woods. So then that is the initiative of the commune or whatever, like the local place, local government is doing this big walk of this trail in the woods. Yeah.
Nice. So this place is Calamanesht.
Yeah.
And it's going to be so exciting to see everything installed, but it's going to be quite a while. And I tend to get these projects sometimes where I never see it finished.
Yeah.
So I'm absolutely determined with this one to come back.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's going to be late summer this year or because you've got a lot of work to finish for them. The litter bins, the tables, benches, all sorts of things like that, haven't you?
Yeah, we have some really crazy mushroom-looking, places to sit and eat, and so it's a lot. I think they're looking to April to open it up. Yeah,
right.
That's when it should be open.
Yeah, that's.
But it is a
really
beautiful
exciting
thing that, like, also the way that we have been able to collaborate, and we have really. Sometimes I miss having people like you who are very passionate and really care about art, and not doing it just in the easiest way, doing it in the way that it comes out and speaks and holds a soul to the piece,
Yeah.
So for us to be able to have your presence has been a great pleasure. So it will be. I'm going to try to make it so that you have to come back in many different forms and ways.
Yeah. I've honestly loved the project so far. I've still got more to do. Obviously, I'm going to be back in February, but I think it's the start of something really exciting. I think there's definite potential for the future in terms of building something that's actually more than just this one-off collaboration. I think there's definitely room for more, and it's amazing what you guys are doing. And you it's not just the woodwork, is it? With Kenosis, you've got what are the other projects you've got going with Kenosis? Because all sorts of things.
Yeah, of course, because the idea is really when it comes on, okay, you meet this people group that are totally isolated outside the society. There is like very few examples of finding good ways to integrate the Roma in a beautiful way where it's like mutual benefit and success, So having this opportunity and connecting with you, and I'm hoping that will also lead to you coming more here, and maybe things are connecting to to England too through what we do, because I'm
Yeah.
also proud of what they are doing, because they're doing
Exactly.
good stuff.
Yeah.
So we have the furniture part, which
Yeah.
is like very custom built. We just like bought another company that doing really amazing beds that would be more serial, more like bigger lots of the same product.
Yes. Yeah.
That would be easier to ship and become international. But then we have, because working with the men and then getting in contact with their wives and some of the daughters and seeing their pain and their not being accepted in society and struggling and
Yeah.
seeing like what kind of place do I have, where will I be appreciated. Then so we started this line of doing jewelry.
Awesome.
And that has been a crazy journey, because my wife is, she's like, if you guys will see the horse that you're building, the unicorn, that's her, you know, like she is a crazy wild horse that nobody can catch down, and she looks, you know, she does everything different, and she tackled jewelry in a very different way, using old black oak and other pieces and rest from, because a lot of the offcuts from the furniture she transforms into jewelry. So it's kind of an upcycling brand. And we just won some really good prizes from Romanian Jewelry Week, and we are now in like 20 shops in Romania. So like that is a brand that is expanding, and a real opportunity for these women to really find a place. And it's amazing. We have just been shocked at one of these, you know, imagine this Roma girl growing up in a like complete village and in like really harsh conditions, you know, and then finding out that she's this kind of ultra talent that basically goes in and wins a prize in a Romanian jewelry among all like 270 jewelers from all over Europe.
So cool.
I mean, this 19, 20 years old girl is now like designing jewelry in wood.
Amazing.
I mean, it's just impossible, you know. But so it has some very nice stories around that.
That's so cool. It's amazing, and it's like with me, it's like I've been fired up just with this visit to try and get you guys seen in the UK, and I think there's definitely scope to sell into lots of different places, because what you're producing, it's not just like you say about this whole passion behind it. You can see that in the product, and you're not just producing something that's off the shelf. You're not just producing something that's seen everywhere else. It is so different to look at, but it's also the quality speaks for itself. You've got this, you know, beautifully finished surfaces, the sort of, you know, it doesn't look plastic, it doesn't look fake, it doesn't look mass manufactured. So
and just that, because why it looks like that is because we didn't hit like doing production according to what would make money. You come into it and you're like, okay, I want to be, first of all, like really proud of what we do. I want to, like, if I can give something to these people, I want to give a passion and an interest. I don't want to give just a job. I want to give that. So coming into a production line going, I want this to like flower. I want you guys to bring the best out of that, because that's what I want for your life. That's what I want for this product. This is a synergy. So like choosing just like good materials, beautiful materials. So like we're doing leather too, you know, like choosing the best leather, the full grain leather, something that really becomes old.
You've got this amazing creative side, which is an outwardly creative side, a visually creative side of the business. But then you've also, as if you're not doing enough already, you've started a school. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so basically the idea, so I'm walking on this, you know, like let's say 20 years ago, I'm walking on this street in this village in Romania where I worked before, and I'm asking myself, what am I doing here? You know, am I giving out food, repairing houses? What am I doing actually in this place? And it was like a thought came to my head, and it was like, Andreas, you're here to make this place look a little bit more like it was meant to look like.
Right.
And my eyes just opens up, and I'm looking at this father who have his kids who doesn't have enough money to feed them, and I'm like, you're not supposed to not have a job. You're supposed to have a job, And then I look at their garden or their land in the back of the house and it's full of weeds, and I'm like, the kid is supposed to eat and the garden is supposed to have full of vegetables.
Right.
And then you look at kids, they don't manage to do school. That's not how it was meant to look like. They are meant to be invested in to have the greatest opportunity for the future. So basically just putting a puzzle to this and saying, hey, I want to create a job for the man.
Yeah.
I want to create a community where it's like the best possibility for life. So like repairing the houses and creating a space for, the little boy who's going to go to school and he has no place to sit down and do his homework. Yeah. Or nobody can teach him like that. That's not, or he's so cold coming to school because the house is raining in or they don't have firewood. That's not what it was meant to look like. Yeah. So then you just like start to try to do that. So out of that grew the idea of a homework club. Like, okay, on this street, there is like 80 families. Like there are 2-3 people who can read or write. Yeah. That's not okay. How do you do homework? How do you find out news, or how do you learn? Okay, let's start a little educational center where the kids go to the normal school in the morning, and then come to us in the afternoon to do the homework, to study up if they are behind in math or in reading. So really like try to push the kids to go through the school in the best way possible. So and then so if let's say that you have almost like a piece of cake and you cut it in 4 pieces, then one of the pieces of cake that kenosis is that kind of, now we're going to give you a job. Yeah. The other piece of cake is, now we're going to stand with your kids so he has the greatest chance to reach like the maximum of his life, or bring him alive and teach him everything like that. And then another piece is that, okay, in community, how do people suffer? Can we create an environment there that will promote life? And then also in society, in the school and other things, how can we stand with these kids so they don't like drop out of school or bullied or are pushed down because of their identity? How do we bring them out in society, really like lifting their identity as awesome carpenters, not poor guys who need some help? No, they don't need help. They need the respect from us to say, okay, I'm not going to give you anything, but if you want, we can do this table together. Because I respect you so much that I really believe in you. So let's do this together. So that is probably like the whole of kenosis, seeds of kenosis, the idea.
That's amazing. So what does the word kenosis mean? What's the background to that?
So when I moved here, then working in this other place for 12 years and then starting my own organization, I was really battling like, what do you put a name to an organization that you can start? Now you can do it. And really at that point I was so caught up with this word, and which I think is amazing. It's like the most beautiful word. And if you think about it, actually beauty is something that we don't always accept in society. We don't have it high enough that like, but if you think about beauty actually drives our lives. We see this person, we think this person is beautiful, we see this car, we see whatever, we see an action happening, and we are drawn by beauty. So I was drawn by the most beautiful thing, which I thought was kenosis. What does that stand for? It's the idea when you are finding yourself in a privileged situation, in maybe a job, a position. Basically, you are a privileged person that could, if you wanted, use people around you.
Right.
But instead of doing that, you choose involuntarily, with joy, to undress yourself of that privilege, and the ones that you could use, you become their servants. So basically you turn the whole society upside down. Okay, I could use you, I could make money on you, but instead I'm going to use my money to invest in you so that you become more
Yeah.
instead of me taking from you so I become more.
Yes.
And of course that has a big Christian background of Christ coming down to earth, not as a big emperor and going to use people. No, he is the one who's first on his knees washing the feet of the disciples. And that is and then calling it seeds of kenosis is that kind of respect for a person where I try to help you, love you, and I give this as a seed. Now it's up to you what you do with it. Do you want to steward it? Do you want to take care of it? Do you want to grow it? Is it something you find exciting?
Yeah.
Because kenosis can never be pushed onto somebody, can only be loved by somebody or be fascinated or be admiring the beauty of what's happening, and then that catches life in you. And I think that would really bring out the beauty of society.
Yeah. Wow, that's really, really nicely put. I like that. I really like that. And it's like when we first kind of started talking, I was thinking like, oh, kenosis is like the glue that holds everything together. But it's not. I think the danger of going into something where you are straining to hold things together.
Yeah.
The idea that you're having to put in there gives people that sticky side themselves, if you know what I mean. It's badly put, but you're giving people the ability, you're enabling people to be able to see what holds them together and what holds all these things together, and coming back in sort of full circle to that analogy of the wood being like the people. You've got so many. I'm quite passionate about wood, as you know.
Yeah,
but you've got this growth ring pattern that happens once a year, and over the years, it's not just that it's growing and you don't pay attention to what's inside, but each layer that builds up remains there. And seeing that history within people, you have to be able to acknowledge it, and you have to be able to enable people to deal with their own brokenness and their own failures and all of that stuff, and wounds, all of those things. They're part of what makes a person who they are. So in exactly the same way, you and I are creating things with wood, bringing out that beauty, but we're exposing all of that brokenness, we're exposing all of those faults and failures. But when they're treated in a way that is, you don't treat the outside of the wood any differently than you treat the inside of the wood. It's all accepted, it's all part of the product. So in doing that, you bring out a beauty that you can see this entire history of a person, you can see this entire picture that you couldn't before. And I just think that's, to conclude the ethos of what you're doing with kenosis and what anybody working with wood does in a physical way, it's this kind of really beautiful collaboration and parallel between the two. And I absolutely love that. So
but for me it's like, of course we are just such small tiny pieces of society, and I don't think we will ever be really changing society in a major way, but what I do hope that I can be maybe one of these things that will preserve some of the gifts that have been given to us in society through the ages. Because really where we come from is a place where everybody's seen. And you are not a number, you are a person. And the thing is that we're hoping that you will be invested in, and that's where you grow. And I really see that these two directions in society is like, we are becoming more and more numbers. Like Google now, when they fire people, they just let the AI choose it and it goes and you get an email and you're out, or from Amazon or whatever. You're just a number that nobody gives a what it's
Yeah.
about you, and everything is like, make it a cheap, make it so hollow. I mean, I went to IKEA and I lifted this box, that well, like this kind of piece, it was like, this is cardboard painted, and it's like everything is just, it looks amazing, but it's nothing in there.
Yeah.
And what you and I are doing is saying, no, we work with real materials, which creates a problem, because it might be different. It might be a crack there. It might be a certain thing. And you have to like really work with that piece and adopt your ways, and it becomes much more effort. But what we do in that process is we become human.
Yes.
In the process of making everything just robotized, everything looking the same, being beautiful on the outside, no quality, in the end it's hollow.
Yeah.
And that will, I think, you'd really hollow out the person's soul too, or our society's soul too.
Yes.
So when we work with something that we want to be real, we want to have story, we want to have life in it, it's like something that you can't just like make a heck of a lot of money. Somebody cannot multiply you.
No.
It's going to take time. I mean, now you have Paul who's like working with you, and you can do that together, but it's not this kind of just, hey, mass produce it.
Exactly, yeah. And this is it goes completely against the capitalist model, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, it goes against the right way to make money, according to the business models that work. Yeah. But at the same time, you've got this whole thing of so for instance, with me, I'm employing Paul, but I don't want him to be a carbon copy of me. Yep. For one, he can't grow a beard, so but I want him to have his own style. I want to encourage his own style.
Yeah.
And much in the same way, I think what you're producing and what you're doing with these guys, they are feeling, because I could see it with Virgil.
Yeah.
He was really starting to be creative in his thinking, and he wasn't just doing what he was told to do. When you set him on those tasks, it was just his real kind of actually, and you get this creativeness. But it's amazing that you're creating a culture which allows that and develops that and champions that.
And I think that's the role that we can have as artists, or whatever, like standing in society saying, hey, okay, there is a way to just do this, because people are saying, why are you employing these people? Why are you not doing like this? Why?
Yeah.
And I'm like, because life has other values than money. Yeah. Life has other values than success. And one way, I'm not a success at all, because my company is like barely making it, every month I'm like, oh my God, we made another month, and we still employing people, and we trying to do it other ways, it's other things are a success to us than being just big producers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that is something that we need to do in society more and more. If we're going to have a society.
Completely agree.
Because nothing has purpose anymore. Because why would you go into a system? And now we're seeing the effect of that. Why would you go into a system where one day you employ, you do everything, and then one day you just get an email and like, we don't need you anymore, because now you helped us made a robot and he can do your job now. So you can get rid of, like, that is, it's crazy. Anyway, so I think it's important.
Oh, well, that's amazing. Well, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Simon. It's been the greatest blessing having you here.
And I'm so looking forward to what the future holds for both of us. And long may the collaboration continue.
It's been beautiful. Thank you.
No worries. Awesome. Well, there you go.